Most realtors think they have an income problem when they don't. They have a business that leaks time, energy, and opportunity every single week. That's why so many agents are just exhausted. Not because they're not working hard, but because they're working inside a model that's quietly breaking them down. They're doing showings with no filter. They're chasing buyers with no leverage. The follow-up is inconsistent. They're improvising important conversations. They're staying busy, but not building anything that gets easier. And the worst part, a lot of them think this is just what real estate is supposed to be like. Well, it's not. After 24 years in the business and over 1,000 homes sold, I can tell you, when an agent feels constantly overwhelmed, underpaid, and behind, there are usually a few specific things that cause it, and they're fixable. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what's going wrong and what I'm seeing in real life and exactly what I'd change first if I want to fix this fast. Because you don't need more hustle. You need a better operating model. Let's get into it. Point number one, stop giving away your time before people earn it. See, one of the fastest ways to build a miserable real estate business is to say yes to everyone, every lead, every showing, every just curious conversation, every person who wants your time without giving you any real commitment back. And I get it. I understand why agents do it, especially early on, because you have nothing else going on. And in slower seasons, you think, I just need more opportunities. So you become available to everyone. But what usually happens is not more closings, it's more drain, more disappointment. Your calendar fills up, your evenings disappear, your weekends are eaten alive, and your pipeline still doesn't improve in proportion to the amount of effort you're putting out. See, that's one of the biggest traps I see. The agents who burn out the fastest are usually not the least motivated. They're the least filtered. And after doing this for more than 2.5 decades, the pattern is so obvious. See, a lot of agents are not overwhelmed because demand is amazing. They're overwhelmed because they have no gatekeeping around who gets access to them. So here's what I recommend. Have a standard before any deep time investment. So what this means is buyer consults before endless touring of property, financing discussions early, clear expectations up front, and better standards around readiness, motivation, and fit. Not because you're trying to be difficult, but because you're trying to be a professional. You do not need to be rude. You do need to stop treating unrestricted access to you like it's free. Some clients respect process. In fact, one thing I've seen over the years is this: the right clients are usually relieved when you lead them. The wrong clients are usually the ones who resist any structure. And that tells you something. So the go-to right now for you is simple. Filter early, qualify sooner, protect your calendar. Because every hour you hand to the wrong person usually comes directly out of a better opportunity that you're giving up. And quick side note, I'm in the process of building a private community for residential real estate agents just like you, who want to scale without burning out. If you want more time, better systems, and predictable business year over year, instead of this constant feast or famine cycle, I'll drop a link below. Be sure to check it out. No pressure, just something I'm building for agents who want to work smarter, not longer. All right, back to the good stuff. Point number two, build more listing leverage, not just buyer labor. Now, let me be clear. Buyers matter. It's important to be in the trenches and see how it actually works. I still work with buyers to this day. It keeps you sharp. It keeps you close to what's really happening. It keeps you in the trenches with actual decision-making buyers. But if your business is built to heavily work around just buyers, it can become incredibly heavy because buyer business is often more reactive, more time sensitive, more time intensive, and less leverage than agents want to admit. You can spend weeks showing, writing offers, adjusting search criteria, managing uncertainty, and calming nerves, and still have no check at the end of it. Meanwhile, one strong listing can create momentum in multiple directions. It creates visibility, it creates authority, it creates conversations, it creates buyer leads, it creates future referrals, and it creates proof that compounds. That's the difference. And after 24 years in this business, this is one of the clearest patterns I've seen. The agents with the most stable businesses usually are not doing random amounts of activity. They have better seller momentum, not because buyers don't matter, because listings create leverage. So what do I recommend? Stop waiting until you feel ready to lean into the listing side. Start building seller authority now. That can look like getting sharper on pricing conversations, creating better market education content, improving your listing consult, strengthening your pre-list package, and consistently following up with homeowners in your database. If I was coaching you right now and you felt exhausted, I'd look at this first. How much of your business only works if you personally keep sprinting? Because if almost all of it does, you do not have enough leverage. So your go-to right now is build towards listings, build seller conversations, build authority with owners, not just activity with buyers. That shifts and makes the business feel like it's actually working, and you will gain momentum. Trust me. Point number 3, tighten your communication so more conversations convert. See, a lot of agents are constantly communicating, but they're not actually leading. They're answering questions, sending information, being friendly, available, helpful, but they're not controlling the process with confidence, and it's costing them because good conversations is not the same as good conversion. I see this all the time. An agent has a decent call, a decent meeting, a decent follow-up, but nothing moves. Why? Because their communication is too loose. Every lead gets a different version of them. Every objection gets answered differently. Every consult improves slightly. Every follow-up sounds a little too casual, a little too hopeful, a little too unclear. That creates inconsistency, and inconsistency kills conversion. What converts better is clarity, calm, direct, structured communication, not robotic, not pushy, just clear. This is one of the biggest advantages experienced agents give. See, when you've been in enough real conversations, you stop getting surprised by what people say. You hear the same pattern, the same fears, the same stalls, the same objections, the same hesitation. So instead of reacting emotionally, you sound intentionally. That's where confidence comes from. So what to do? Well, I recommend you tighten your language around the moments that matter the most. Your buyer consult, your listing consult, your objection handling, your follow-up, your close. You should know how you respond when someone says, "We want to wait," or "We're interviewing a few agents," or "We're not ready yet," or "We just want to look," or "Your commission feels high." Because if you freestyle these moments every time, you are leaving money on the table. So my go-to for you right now is write your core scripts, practice them, refine them from real conversations, because the money is very often not in saying more, it's in saying the right thing at the right time with the right level of certainty. Point number 4, follow up like a true pro, not like a wounded person. This one quietly costs agents absolute fortunes. See, a lead goes quiet, a client stops replying, a seller says they want to wait, a buyer disappears for a week, and too many agents make it emotional. Oh, they're not serious. I don't want to bother them. They probably went with someone else. I don't want to sound too pushy. And they back off. And a lot of business dies right there, right in front of their eyes. But after years of doing this, I can tell you, silence is not always rejection. See, a lot of time, it's just life. People get distracted. People get overwhelmed. People get nervous. People get busy. They're figuring things out on the fly. They're waiting on financing. They're trying to make a big decision. See, that doesn't automatically mean the lead is dead, but it often means the agents let emotion interrupt the process. So what I recommend, well, stop letting your mood decide whether you follow up. Build a real follow-up standard, not annoying, not desperate, not pressure heavy, just relevant, useful, timed well, and consistent. Because the agents who look lucky are often just the ones who stayed on course, stayed in the conversation longer than anyone else. And I see this constantly. Agents are sitting on business they already generated, but they're not working it properly. They keep chasing fresh, new cold leads because it feels more exciting than patiently converting the ones that are already in front of them and they have a bit of rapport with. That's expensive. So my go-to step right now for you is use a follow-up cadence. Stay present, add value, and do not disappear just because someone has gone quiet. See, professionals do not take silence personally. They manage it systematically. That one shift alone can recover a shocking amount of business that you are about to potentially lose. Point number 5, replace emotional business building with operating discipline. This is the deeper issue underneath almost everything. See, a lot of agents run their business based on how they feel that day. If they feel confident, if they prospect, if they feel discouraged, they avoid it. If they feel busy, they stop lead generation. If they feel pressure, they lower their standards. That's not a business. That's emotional freelancing, and it creates unstable income, constant stress, and a repeated feeling of starting over. I've seen this pattern for decades. One good month, the agent feels like they're back. One bad month, pure panic. Then they chase the shiny object, switching strategies, taking weak fit clients, changing their marketing, discounting too early, and overworking things that were never that likely to convert in the first place. What do I recommend? Well, get boring in the best way possible. Build a weekly operating structure. Know what matters every week, whether you feel like it or not. Conversations, follow-up, appointments, lead gen, pipeline review, client care, not just random busyness. My next step for you right now, well, run your business from a scorecard, not the mood you're in. Track how many real conversations you had, how many follow-ups you made, how many appointments you set, and how many appointments you held. Because when those numbers are visible and you see it, well, then your business gets a lot less emotional and a lot more fixable. And that's when things start to stabilize. That's when business starts to feel cleaner. That's when you stop confusing emotion with progress. So if your business feels heavy right now, if you're working a lot but not seeing enough for it, if you're busy but the money still feels inconsistent, here's my recommendation. Stop trying to fix it with more chaos. Fix it with better standards. Filter earlier, build more seller leverage, tighten communication, and follow up with structure. And run your week from a position of process, not emotion. Because after 24 years in this business, one thing I know for sure. See, a lot of agents are not losing because they lack work ethic. They're losing because the way they're working is too reactive, too unstructured, too expensive in terms of energy. You don't need a business that just keeps you busy. You need one that actually works. And that's what I'm here to help you with. I'm putting out content like this each and every week. You can take it, use it, work through it. If you need some help, if you need one-to-one, or if you want to be a part of our community, be sure to check it out, link below. And if you want the next step after this, and you want to get better at the part that actually changes everything, your communication, your influence, your ability to lead people, handle objections, and move that conversation forward, well, you need to watch my next video right here. I've closed $500 million in sales, and here are the 6 steps to sell anything to anyone. Because once you fix the way you sell, a lot of what feels hard in this business starts getting a whole lot easier. Check it out right now.